What's going on, guys and gals? This is Auto Tech. So I don't know if you guys are going to believe this, but it's actually January right now. I don't know, we had like a weird Chinook kind of roll in, and it was above zero today, and I was just like, oh man, I am going tonight. Simple as that. So ice is a very real thing at this time of the year. So basically anytime I see any damp spots on the road, I am going to avoid them, or I'm going to at least try to stay perfectly straight as I'm crossing over them, just for that very purpose. There's not going to be much of a point to this video other than the fact of just look at me, I'm riding. Tonight is my very first time ever trying a pin lock. Now what's pin lock? It's like this little shield that you put inside your visor, and then it kind of creates like a air barrier, moisture barrier, whatever you want to call it, for your visor to prevent it from fogging up. And I always thought they were just stupid, you know, like it was a waste of my time, so I'd like throw it straight in the garbage, basically. Not literally, but I'd never even take them out of the package. But then tonight I was kind of sitting there and I was like, well, you know, it's like zero, let's give her a try. So I popped it in, and it's nuts, like it's crazy. I'm gonna have to actually do a video about these pin locks. I'll head out in the back alley or something when it's like minus 30 one time and just see if it still fogs up or whatever. Hopefully not, but whatever. Usually I have to wait till the spring to get to try out all my new toys that I did over the winter. You guys already know about the tire, because, well, the tires, you know, if you've seen the how-to rear video, you noticed I put the Continental TKC 70 on. And then, I mean, you can kind of assume that there is a front tire video coming, or it might already come out by the time I put this video out. Yeah, tough to say. But then I grabbed myself a new helmet on Boxing Day. I mean, it wasn't Boxing Day per se, but it was a Boxing Day deal. My GT Air was getting pretty old. You know, I had that thing for a few years, and, you know, between all the bikes and everything, I mean, I had, oh boy, like 60,000, 70,000 kilometers on that thing. No, I had more than 70,000 kilometers on that thing. I'd have to do the math on that, but yeah, I had a few thousand kilometers on that thing, and it was the all original padding and everything. And I decided, you know, do I spend a few $100 getting all the pads? Because I mean, by the time you priced out all the stuff for that GT Air, I mean, it was going to be like $300. Or do I just put a couple extra bucks in and get a whole new helmet? And, you know, voila, welcome the Hornet X2. A little bit of a douchebag helmet, I know, but I'm really enjoying the massive field of view, and yeah, so it's pretty sweet like that. But yeah, so huge field of view, and you know, it's got that sun visor and stuff on it and whatnot, so, you know, it just like looks cool. That's about all it really comes down to, is it looks cool. And shoeies just fit me better than like a Rise, so, and then Schuberth is just too much money. Seem to be getting a lot of airflow like on my face, so when I stop I'm going to definitely check to make sure that I install the visor correctly, because it just feels like I'm getting air from like everywhere, and I'm not sure if it's just coming up like under the chin. I mean, I've got the chin curtain on, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's not blasting me in the chest and then floating up into the helmet kind of thing. The downside to like living in the foothills here, you know, the prairies, is when the weather's warm like this, it's usually because it's super windy. So it's definitely a very windy evening, and it's a good chance to try out this helmet. You know, you look at these things and they've got those big sun visors on them, and you're like, oh man, is that thing just going to be parachuting? And oh, it seems to be all right. So I'm going to hit this Tim Hortons here, but you got to be careful in these parking lots, because as you can see, hopefully, that is all ice right there, and chances are some of this is ice. Oh, sweet, a peace officer. God, I hate these guys. And then I have to be careful of how I park, because if I'm standing on ice, I'm not going to be able to, you know, like walk the bike backwards. So ideally, hopefully nobody parks right there, and I will be able to just turn out, hopefully. Yeah. All right, grab myself a small coffee, and obviously had to do the obligatory Instagram post. Look at me, I'm riding. Oh, it's nice because it's gonna come to an end in a couple days here. Yeah. Well, that's that. Sadly, basically get back on the highway and make my way home. I knew tonight was gonna be a pretty short one. You know, it's just kind of the way it goes if you're getting out at the beginning of January. You know, a little safety tip for everybody: if you do manage to slip out mid-season here, like midwinter, be extra mindful of drivers, because around here they've turned off the thought of motorcycles for, you know, almost 3 months now. Like, a lot of people pack it in at the beginning of October, so suddenly, you know, seeing a couple hundred bikes rolling around, it suddenly goes down to, you know, maybe a couple dozen, just the way it is, you know, whatever. And so drivers just kind of October 1st, they basically, yeah, bikes don't exist anymore. So middle of January to see a bike on the road, they're not seeing you at all whatsoever. Do not kid yourself. So definitely be extra mindful, and yeah, that's kind of my tip for this evening, where I'm making sure that nobody's like sitting beside me, just because I know they don't see me. On a side note, I certainly hope the footage from this is usable. You know, I kind of played with because, you know, you got to transfer the camera over to the new helmet and whatnot, and you know, I kind of wandered around the house a little bit, made a little bit of a video, but obviously close quarters like that, everything looks straight, so I hope I don't put this video out, you know, and it's a 45-degree angle, or you can't even see the bike or something like that. Learning experience. Even if the footage is really skewed, I might still put it out just because, you know, it's cool. It's cold, but it's cool. I would have to say this is about the end of our short little winter jaunt. So I hope you guys enjoyed getting out for a midwinter break. I know them how-to videos get kind of boring and whatnot, but it's about all you got to do up here in Canada in the wintertime when it comes to motorcycles. Yeah, you know, kind of first test run here. I'd have to say everything's working out pretty good. Those TKC 70s seem to work all right on ice if you're moving slow and being careful. And then, you know, my toolbox hasn't fallen off. My signal lights haven't fallen off. Yeah, you know, you can't really complain about that. This winter really didn't involve too many modifications. I had to kind of keep her on a budget. But, yeah, if you're new to this, make sure you go on and hit that subscribe button. Got a lot of great things coming your way this summer, which, you know, I'm thinking riding season should be in full swing. I don't know, 3 months or so. Yeah, 90 days. Think about that. Alright, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. It probably won't show up, but got your ice test right here for these tires. This is just sheer skating rink.